here with Tom Greenwood, who's the Senior Director of Global Sales Enablement at Deltek. Hi, Tom. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jessica. Great to be here.
I know that Deltek provides a project management software for the construction companies, for example, a lot of project-based services, and wanted to invite you on to talk about that market, the trends, the innovation, and also your thoughts on best practices in sales enablement.
Okay, well, we are the leader in project-based ERP solutions. That's Enterprise Resource Management, and it cuts across construction, architectural, engineering, agency, and our largest population of customers, which are government contractors.
And in that space, you are targeting a lot of the project managers, and you have about 400 reps that you're trying to train and help them to be effective in their sales, enterprise sales, for example. I wanted to get your thoughts on what are some of the best practices that you're leveraging, and what impact are you seeing?
Well, Jessica, the one thing we're trying to do, and this cuts across no matter what sales force you have working for you, is you want them to be more productive. And to be more productive, they need to be more efficient. Translation, they need to spend more time with customers. So the best practices are to make sure that they have the technology and tools that they can engage better with customers. And that holds true now for what the country's going through, the world's going through with this virus. They have to do most of their work, if not all of it, online. So they need to have good equipment, good tools that they can engage with, that they can create email templates that they can use over and over again rather than having to reinvent it. They have to use certain social media platforms so that they can do better research. They have to have access to a lot more information, because these customers want to feel like they have been touched by someone who has really researched them and know what they do. So that's one thing, have a good technology stack, as we call it. The second thing is they need really good sales skills. In other words, how do you engage with a client the first time you start talking to them? And what would make these clients or prospects even want to talk to you? So they have to be really good at that. They also have to know the industry. They have to demonstrate that to the customer. And another thing they need to do is they need to be good communicators. A lot of times, it's not what you're telling them, it's how you're telling them. And we're kind of in an age right now where those good communication techniques, whether you're presenting on the phone, whether you're standing and delivering in a conference room, whether you're writing an email or a text, you don't want to be sloppy about it. You want to make sure that you stand out and it comes across as being quite professional, well thought out, so that your message can hit home with that client or prospect.
I am curious, now that the coronavirus is making people to stay at home, and I know your company is headquartered in Virginia. I just saw the news that everybody needs to stay at home, and I suspect that the whole country will have to be staying at home. How do these construction companies still carry on working if that's the case?
Well, they are. In fact, I have a friend who won a bid, and they actually use our software. They're relining the Holland Tunnel in New York City. A lot of these construction services are absolutely critical to the infrastructure of the country. It doesn't mean that they're all working, but if it's considered, really mission critical for the country, or they've, gotten a job, doing something for the government, I think what you'll probably see a little bit of more slowdown in, retail construction, housing construction, but construction still goes on because of some of the necessity of it.
I see. Okay, it's considered essential services. All right. So I also would like to get your thoughts on the challenges that you face in sales enablement, given that your industry is still running and it's not like stay at home for everyone. What are the challenges that you face in doing the sales enablement for your team of 400 folks?
Well, the good news is that we are global, and we have invested in delivering virtual live and virtual online training, quite a bit. We still have done in the past, stand and deliver. I'm a professional instructor, so I do it all the time, and I really enjoy it. It's a little more challenging doing it virtual live, because you're not really sure a lot of time if your audience is listening. Salespeople have a tendency to want to multitask, particularly if it gets a little boring. But we have ways to do knowledge checks and learning checks. So we've been able to quickly transition to do more of that, in these times we're in with the virus. So it isn't anything new. It's just that something we're doing more of. And what we do is we make sure we provide more reinforcement, particularly in giving, online tests and quizzes just to see if they've absorbed the material.
Mm-hmm. How about coaching? How do you view coaching? I know you've got the managers, and the managers are responsible for their teams.
Right.
And a lot of that coaching of, I'd say, the tribal knowledge has to somehow be shared and captured as best practices.
Yeah, that's true. So if you're a sales manager, or really any manager, the most important thing you can do for your people is to coach them. Studies have shown that those teams that are coached, 75% of the manager's time are the ones that perform better. It helps get rid of such problems as getting 80% of your sales from 20% of your people. So you're giving a balanced, coaching scorecard. So what we try to do is we are constantly reinforcing coaching, the need for coaching. And coaching covers a lot of different areas. It's what's called curbside coaching, meaning a sales manager may listen in on a call with a client that one of their salespeople is doing. It could be motivational coaching. Everyone needs to be motivated. It could be very structured coaching, meaning if you have a low will, meaning they don't really have the desire to do the job, a low skill, meaning they don't have the skill to do it, then it requires so much more hands-on coaching. We even need that for our high will, high skill players who do extremely well, but everyone likes to be paid attention to, and everyone should be coached. So there are coaching methods that we provide. We've done it face to face. Now we're doing it virtually, because it is the most important thing. And let's face it, the best coached teams always win.
I want to ask about how you are incentivized as a sales enablement team to help sales revenue, because ultimately you're measured on the ROI of the investment you're putting in for sales enablement.
That's true. Now, this is an interesting topic because a lot of sales enablement professionals do not report through the sales organization. Some report through HR or marketing. I happen to report through the sales organization. So I have two measurements. One is company performance. I have some control over that, but not as much. That's how we're doing across the board. But I am directly incentivized by the sales team doing well. And we have done some things such as build a sales enablement dashboard where we can take data from our CRM system and calculate and coordinate it with our learning management system, and we can spot trends to see if we are affecting such things as win rates, close rate, pipeline size, and then we use that as proof to show that we are either impacting the sales organization or maybe not impacting the sales organization, and that's what is used to go into my compensation and my team's compensation plan for incentive.
Excellent. I think that is a trend that I'm seeing, is that sales enablement executives are trying to align with sales revenue and incentives, because this way you have a skin in the game, making sure.